Hello, everybody. Welcome to the J&L Sports Show. A little bit different here. If you guys are watching it, you can actually see us on YouTube for the first time ever. We're still on Apple Podcast and, unfortunately, Deezer and all those sites.
Whoa.
The Deezer disrespect.
We are not starting episode 50 off with the Deezer disrespect.
That is right. It is episode 50. What is the date? I did not check that at all. It is March 2nd.
March 2nd, yes.
Off to a good start. I don't know if your mic's on. Are you
It
sure?
is.
Okay, you were not. I could not hear you because you were too far away. That's going to be something we're going to have to deal with. It's going to be just like episode 1.
Relax.
You holding your mics.
It's not
Just
gonna
talk.
be like
Just talk
episode
loud.
1.
Just talk loud.
Calm down.
It's going to be great. This is Noah Marks.
No, Mark's here.
Luke Holman. I
Luke
thought you were
Holman.
going to say
No,
my
you got
name.
it.
I
You
thought you were
can
going to say my name.
And we have
You
our
mentioned
fact
it.
checker, Isaac, behind the camera, of course. This is the first ever recorded...
You can say hi, Isaac.
Yeah, you're allowed. Well, the mic's in the bag, so it's hard to grab.
Okay.
Yeah,
there you go.
Well,
Just ruined the focus.
listen, don't block the shot though. You're not that important.
Let's hope it's
So yeah, this
focused
is
on
the
the
first
center.
ever recorded episode. We are going to be doing it like this from now on. We'll release it on YouTube and our audio version on Google Podcast. So I did say Google Podcast
Google
first.
Podcast.
That was weird.
Apple
Apple Podcasts
Yeah,
and Spotify.
Spotify.
are the main ones.
Definitely.
And then
I think it's on Pandora. That's a thing, right?
I think it's on like any
Anything.
streaming
It's on
service.
anything.
Listen,
Do you remember Pandora?
I've never used it, but I remember people.
Did you ever
using
use it?
for music? Yeah.
Because when I didn't have Spotify, I used to use that,
I
and my
used to use
mom
that.
used to use iHeart Music in the fucking car.
Oof.
It was like Pandora,
tough.
but for middle-aged women. It was awful. But we're going to get right into it with sports stuff. Shocking news yesterday morning. I don't think anyone expected it this early or this team. J.J. Watt signs with the Arizona Cardinals. Luke, what were your initial reactions to the signing? Other than sadness, of course.
Yeah, I was obviously upset about it, but I knew that there's no way the Steelers are going to be able to do that just with like lack of cap space and the amount of guys that are potentially not on the team next year. You have to really focus on those guys instead of spending.
I had to fix my hair. Hold on. I have to
Yeah.
fix my hair every
Yeah.
time we're on audio because of the headset, and I forgot that we had a video, so that would
Yeah.
look ridiculous.
Probably.
Yeah. Anyways, so but for the money that they signed him for, there's no way the Steelers would have done that. So I was surprised that the Cardinals offered that.
Yeah, I was surprised at the team choice because all we've ever heard this entire week is that it's all about a contender and someone who's like gonna. So everyone thought it was going to be a team that had made the playoffs this year. Wildly, it was not. It was the Arizona Cardinals, who I don't think are that far off anyway. Like I don't think they're. I don't know. That division is a hard division, very hard division, and the Cardinals are arguably, possibly the bottom of that division.
Yeah, I mean they were on the up like first half of the season. They looked really well. I mean, obviously the Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins duo is fucking insane. I don't really know. I know their kicker had a lot of problems, cost them a couple games throughout the season.
Zerline, is he still, or is that? Was
They-
Zerline
they-
ever
they
on the
had Zane
Cardinals?
Gonzalez,
Zane
but I
Gonzalez,
don't know
I
if
know like a lot of
he had-
Cardinals fans were complaining about their kicker like
all the
second
time.
half of the year because he was awful.
That's part of being a
They
football fan.
they
however.
weren't the same team
That's true.
after that
I think-
Hopkins. What's it called?
the
The
Hail Mary off the
against
Bills. Yeah, correct.
Since that
Yeah,
game,
they
they
used
were
up all
not.
their good fortune.
That was it.
And then couldn't do anything. I mean, they lost to the Patriots.
That was
Yeah.
tough. You hate to lose
2020
to the Patriots for sure.
That's a tough thing to do.
Correct.
To lose to the
Absolutely.
Patriots this past
What
season.
an up and down season for you guys though, because like you had like at the
It was.
beginning
It always
like,
felt like we were 1 or 2 games away from being right back in it.
Yeah,
Like-
up
like the
until-
entire
when you
time.
guys lost to the Seahawks, I'm like, okay, you guys actually like Cam actually played really good.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like that.
Well, yeah.
There's a
Well,
there's
and
a chance.
okay. Here's my honest takeaway. I think COVID is affecting athletes way more than people think they are because you have Cam Newton who was fucking killing it before COVID. Many athletes. Seth Curry is another great example. He was dropping so many points before he got COVID earlier in the season. He just got it, and he has not reached where he was at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and Jason Tatum too. He was talking about
Correct,
it the
yeah.
other day. He's saying his stamina has been affected. He feels earlier on in games than he would have. Like fatigue starts to hit, whereas before COVID,
You gotta make sure you hold the mic closer to you, Noah.
It is in my throat.
No, it wasn't. I promise you, I could hear everything. You have to make sure you hold it closer. This is the stuff we actually go through every fucking week. Well, usually we have the things, but we changed it. Cannot go back to our early 10 episodes.
Noah,
Figure it
relax.
out.
Noah, I would just recommend just continue to talk louder. Just I have to
Well,
do the. I have to
we're
do the
learning.
same thing too.
Yeah.
Just keep talking louder.
Yeah.
Just talk louder than you think you have to, and
Yeah.
then you're good.
Correct.
Yeah.
There you
Anyway,
go.
Jason Tatum, he said fatigue starts to hit earlier than before he had COVID. You know, late in games is usually the important part, you know, especially NBA games when it's fucking close and
Exactly.
they're stopping every 2 seconds because fucking free throws and all that. Speaking of which, I guess if we're on the fucking topic, they won against the Wizards.
Good.
Which, you know, isn't like a super big thing, but
You like winning eventually.
they're back in the playoff.
do
They're
like to
back
see
in the
it.
playoff spot though. They're the 6th seed now.
It's important.
Bradley Beal, another fucking 40+ point game with a loss. He had 46, I believe. It's real tough for him.
Just ask. For
I don't
your
know why
release.
he wants to stay there. I really don't.
I know it, especially when you see like how much power these players do have in all around sports now, not just the NBA anymore.
Absolutely.
It started with the NBA, I think, but I think we see it now in football with the Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
I mean, we don't know what
starting-
Deshaun Watson's going to
Yeah.
get, but we can see that starting to form. What JJ Watt? How did we get to COVID? You were talking about the Patriots.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so you see like Cam Newton, his first 3 games, he did good. Like he had I think 4 rushing touchdowns. He had 2 passing I think in the game against Seattle.
Yeah, the Seattle game he looked
He passed
phenomenal.
really good in that game.
Hold on, this is the craziest stat I think as being a Patriots fan as long as I have. Julian Edelman has his career high receiving game, not with Tom Brady,
with Cam
but
Newton.
with Cam
It
Newton.
was the Seattle game, yeah.
That's fucking insane.
Granted, as the season went along, we realized Seattle's defense was
Not good.
not even
That is
mediocre.
fair. That is
Yeah.
fair.
So
But
That is fair.
Cam Newton looked so much better before he got COVID. Afterwards, he obviously struggled. I mean, not having Edelman like also could have been like a small factor that played into it as well, because obviously in the Seattle game, Edelman was his main target.
Correct.
It's just tough because Edelman was really our main weapon on offense. He dropped a lot, which was
Well,
unfortunate.
Myers
Myers stepped up a bit, yeah. But I mean, Edelman, he's
that veteran presence.
He had problems with drops, but he also took away, the number one corner. Sometimes got double teamed, and he opened up a lot of opportunities for other receivers. When you take that away, you take away the drops, but you also take away opportunities for other guys.
Exactly. And I think, see, this like when we talk about Cam Newton, I do think he deserves another shot in New England. I think we should sign him to a 2-year deal. I think we should draft a quarterback. Or, obviously, if we have I'm not saying Cam Newton over Deshaun Watson. All right, let me just get that out the way. If we have a chance to get Deshaun Watson, go get Deshaun Watson.
Absolutely.
Do not sign Cam Newton. But, I mean, I don't think we do. I think we sign Cam Newton for 2 years, draft a quarterback, groom someone. Because clearly we don't fucking trust him. We have zero...
That's been established.
And it doesn't make sense. It's been rumored that the players around the team didn't trust Stidham, and that's why he didn't get the opportunity. So that's clear. So fucking cut Stidham loose. Let him fucking try to do something on some other team. Draft a quarterback to groom, and just sign Cam Newton. I don't know how we'll see. This season was wild. There is no season that has been like this season with COVID, them having no training camp. I mean, it seemed unfair at points for people who had those 1-year deals going forward. Definitely sucks. I would not mind seeing Cam Newton. I want him to succeed so much.
Who do you think we draft for a quarterback? Because we have the 15th pick, right?
Trey Lance, I think, is
Trey
the one
Lance,
that is being seen.
I know Mac Jones. He's been brought up a bit.
I honestly think we trade up and get Kyle Pitts possibly, but we did just draft 2 tight ends, but they're not that good.
Correct.
So Kyle Pitts is very good.
Our tight end situation is not great.
No, not at all.
Not even
We
close.
expected Dalton Keene and who else did we get?
Ryan
Izzo to be when we drafted them last year. We expected them to be.
Well, Izzo's been on the team.
Well, no,
2
we
years.
drafted 2 tight ends last year.
I don't remember what the other. I know you.
Yeah,
they both were tall and white. That's really what.
So we drafted them both, expecting them to be like Aaron Hernandez and
Gronkowski. Yeah.
Maybe more like Gronkowski than Aaron Hernandez.
Yeah.
But I think that was the idea that there was going to be like
you could
them
just
too.
have Gronk like 2.0 and then Gronk 3.0. You could just
Okay,
could have
yeah.
just done that.
Okay, no
Yeah.
Aaron Hernandez
Yeah, you don't
mentioning.
you don't got to include him.
All right, forgot about him. That's unfortunate. That is real unfortunate. Moving on from J.J. Watt, since we haven't even actually talked about him much at all.
Yeah.
Alex Smith is unfortunately looks like he's going to be actually, thankfully, is going to be released from the hell pit of Dan Snyder's organization. He said that he didn't really feel welcome back the entire time, and it sucks because
it sucks, but it's understandable. I mean,
Heineke was good.
Heineke was good. Washington is looking for a franchise guy at QB. Alex Smith, maybe a couple years left in his career. He's not going to have longevity with a team anymore. They have a very young defense that's very good, so they're looking for a young guy that'll last them for a while. I mean, they're a playoff team, despite, having a 7-9 record. They're in a terrible division.
Correct.
But they are
have room for improvement.
Trending upwards, because what was their record the previous year? They had like a handful of wins, maybe.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah, because they got Chase Young with the second pick, I think.
Yeah, they were one of the bottom teams in the league.
They were one of the bottom teams in the league, and now they're one win away from being 500. And their front four D linemen are all first round picks, and it's the first round picks of the last 4 years.
So it's been building. They've been
big,
building for a while.
They're
building, pretty good.
They've built their defense. Their defense was phenomenal last season. Absolutely phenomenal. They just need, a couple pieces on offense. Obviously, a franchise quarterback would be helpful. Alex Smith is not going to be a franchise guy.
So I saw this thing today, and it's going to the Niners because I know Jimmy Garoppolo has been in conversations. The Niners reached out for Teddy Bridgewater this past week. That's big news. That's big news because all we've heard constantly from the 49ers organization is that they trust Jimmy Garoppolo and they want Jimmy Garoppolo. It doesn't seem like they're telling too much of the truth at this point. It seemed that like they were in on the Stafford thing too a little bit, and then they're now in on Bridgewater. Is it possible Alex Smith and maybe Frank Gore reunite in San Francisco? I know Frank Gore said that he wants to retire in San Francisco, that when he will at least sign a one-day contract. So what if they get Smith and Gore back? I mean, it's not going to be a long-term situation, obviously.
Absolutely not.
But if they get like Smith would be a backup, obviously.
Probably, yeah.
But I think it'd be a fun reunion that I think even the 49ers fans would absolutely welcome, even though it might hurt their team. But I think Alex Smith is way better than he was when he previously was on the 49ers. I think he's faster than he used to be now. I think he is just...
his leg?
Yeah, he's fast. Did you see him run when he was playing this year?
No,
he was fast as shit. He looked faster than he has been. I think it's because they literally gave him, like, fucking robotics in his leg or something. So it has, like, a fucking metal piece in his leg.
Cybernetics.
Correct. But no, he looks good. I mean, it's not... I don't think Smith is going to get that much money from anywhere else. So I don't think it's too much of a gamble to just reunite him with an old team. It'd be interesting to see. It'd be real cool. I was kind of hoping Alex Smith would retire this season after coming back, but he has more to prove.
Want to, so
he has more to prove. And I'm not gonna be like, oh, you should retire right away, because I respect the fact that this man, one, is able to play a sport again, and two, continuously wants to do it. Doesn't just want to do it 1 year. Shocking release. Again, we've had a lot of NFL news this past week. Very, very welcoming.
A lot of teams released a lot of players.
Correct.
There's just a lot of surprise ones.
Kyle Van Noy got released from the Dolphins, saving $9.75 million in cap space. He seemed like he was perfect for their organization. Him and the head coach got along. What is the head coach name?
That is an interesting question.
Oh my God! He coached on the Patriots. I'm so upset. He's a really good coach. The head coach.
I can see the face.
I know, me too.
Yeah, I can as well. This is bad.
Brian Flores. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes, Brian Flores. Wow, that was embarrassing.
Yeah.
Because I like Brian Flores a lot. Him and Kyle Van Noy seem to be getting along very well. He seemed perfect for that defense that they were trying to run there.
I mean, their defense was great last year.
Yeah, and they ran a certain style of just like attack the run. You know, a lot in the passing league, it's very much fall back, wait for the pass, watch the quarterback. They attacked a lot, and Van Noy does that very well. He did that in New England a lot. Would love to see him back in New England. He has said some things about New England that isn't the greatest to hear as a New England fan, but he has also said some very good things about Belichick and his relationships with him. Obviously, whenever someone gets released, Bucks Chiefs obviously are a kid, but don't they both have linebackers?
Yeah, the Bucks
are
probably don't
set
need
with
another.
linebackers.
They
They
don't
have
really.
like the best linebacker corner.
That's what I
They have
figured.
Levante David, Devin White,
And they're young, right? JPP's
Shaq
old.
Barrett. Like
they're good with
they're
linebackers.
set on linebackers.
The Chiefs.
Especially with the money Van Noy's worth too. They don't want to spend too much because
Yeah, the
I
Chiefs
think,
don't have
I
that.
think what the Bucks want right now is cornerbacks.
Yeah, they need a better secondary. I mean, Winfield Jr. was really good, but like their
You need
corners,
more than
their
that? Yeah.
corners are still.
Yeah, so
very-
I don't see him going to the Bucks. That obviously always floats as soon as someone gets released now. Chiefs, maybe. I would really, really like to see him back in Foxborough. Both the McCourty twins have tweeted about it now, and who else did? Dante Hightower put out a picture. Absolutely need that to happen. He was great. I didn't like he talks a lot afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, he said a lot of dumb stuff after losses and stuff, and that was the only thing I didn't really like. But, I mean, I'm not going to
He's a
take
good
his
player.
talent
He's
away
a
from
good
him.
player,
Yeah,
so-
fuck it. Another release today. Kyle Rudolph got released after 10 years with the Minnesota Vikings. 10 fucking years. I didn't even know he's been in the league that long. I thought he was way younger.
Nah, I mean,
I didn't know he was there for 10 years,
Yeah.
but I knew
Yeah,
I knew it's been like at least like 5 or 6.
So has he only been on the Vikings his entire career? Was
I'm
he?
fairly certain, yes.
Wow.
Pretty sure he was
I mean,
drafted
he's
by them.
still good. Like,
Yeah,
I feel like
he's
he
a solid
still
tight
has
end.
talent. I feel like, once again, someone the Patriots might want to take a look at if they don't want to move up for Kyle Pitts. If we
That
could
is
just,
true.
well, I
if
think
we
we're
want to get a
also-
quarterback.
We're also looking at signing Hunter Henry.
Oh yeah, I know.
Because
Him
he
and
would-
Bill are
he would-
very
he
close.
He would,
yeah.
he would be the probably.
And
the
he's
preferred.
younger too, right? Isn't
Yeah.
he like
Yeah.
20 something? Yeah, I mean that
I
would
think he's like 26 or so.
Yeah,
Which,
I mean,
younger than Rudolph. So
I'd rather I'd rather have Henry than Rudolph. But I mean, if you can't get him, wouldn't mind Kyle Rudolph on the team. Obviously, it's like Madden. I just want every single fucking
yeah, you just
player on
we
the
don't
team.
have a
So
tight end. I
so
want
with that,
every tight end that exists. in
is there
fantasy.
anything else happening in the NFL? I mean, a lot more than we expected for a fucking Monday yesterday when
Yeah.
randomly everything was coming in.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it this week. I mean, yeah, it's still very early in the off season. Not something we expected, like to have this much news so early on. I mean, there's still like 4 or 5 months left.
Yeah,
till
correct.
it
Yeah.
starts again.
God, I miss football already.
Josh?
Yeah.
Baseball's on now. That's all you need. That's all you need.
I guess. Yes.
No, baseball replaces football for me. So
What?
I said, but like, obviously during football season, football is the main sport that.
Yeah,
I just
I
don't.
just don't. The excitement of baseball doesn't bring me in like football does.
Yeah, it does that to me. Is the thing.
I just can't. Like,
can-
okay, I'll put on a baseball game in the 7th inning and enjoy every second of it. I
Yeah.
can't watch 1, 2, 3. I can't watch 9 because they go on for 3.5 hours, dude.
That's the best part.
Why?
It's the best part. It's the best part.
How? I need to see things like happening. It's just, I don't know. Maybe Manfred just has fucked up the league. Just let him do steroids, right? Just let them inject themselves with something to send the ball 4,000 feet
Well, I
over
mean,
the wall.
they-
That's what I want to see.
They
I want
juice the balls instead of juicing the players.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not. I mean,
The home run
It's not
totals
the same.
did increase by like a significant.
how about
amount.
we make the balls as light as possible, so that the pitcher can just fucking light
I
enough
don't
for it to
know.
where it can still travel, to where they
don't know
could
about that.
fucking whip it as hard as they want, and then juice the bats, juice the players. Who the fuck cares? Have a 109-mile-per-hour fastball get off a swinging fucking
Nobody
bat.
is hitting that.
Yeah, I mean maybe.
No,
No.
no.
Yeah, I guess that would be
109 miles per hour. Nobody's hitting
that would be unfortunate.
because
So then just
players struggle to hit fucking 100 flat.
I want
Yeah.
a soft toss major league softball league. That's what I want. To just see people fucking tossing it up and just ding dongs all the time. Also, quick note, when I did the wiffle ball league, there was a like an amateur softball league going on at the same time. They go fucking insane.
Yeah,
There was-
that was the league I was in.
This was during COVID. There was like
Yeah,
400 people
Yeah,
around the
yeah.
fucking thing.
That was,
Dude, it was like like a soft toss fucking softball, and I was like,
that's what I. Josh,
holy
I was.
shit.
I was in.
Well,
that
no,
league.
it wasn't this one. No, this one wasn't soft toss. This one was regular toss. Like they were like doing fucking motioning and stuff.
Oh, really?
But there was like
it was at the- it was at those
400
same
people
fields,
there.
though.
Yeah, it wasn't at the one in the front. It was the one towards the back. It was the one in the middle because there's 3
Okay.
fields there. But yeah, dude, like this was like during COVID, and I was like,
Yeah,
why
people
are there
don't
so
care.
many fucking people here? It was ridiculous. It was absolutely insane. Moving on, we'll go to the NBA. Noah, go ahead with some Knicks news.
The Knicks, man, they're trending up. Who would have thought? The Knicks are 4th in the East right now. They're 18-17 is their best start since the 2012-2013 season, back when Carmelo Anthony and J.R. Smith, good old J.R., back on the Knicks. I mean, Julius Randle, an all-star, he's having a phenomenal season. Derrick Rose, the new addition after that trade, he's been fitting in very well with the team. Their first-round pick, Obi Toppin, seems to be playing pretty well. They look like a solid team. I don't know if they're a finals contender necessarily, but obviously something's going right, and they're trending in the right direction. They're definitely a playoff team right now, especially in the East, where things are. A lot of East teams have had early struggles. The Celtics aren't the only one, thankfully. But teams like the Raptors, they're 17-17, just like us. Atlanta, who has Trae Young, Clint Capella, they have a solid squad. They're 14-20.
You got it.
Yeah, the Pacers, they have a solid team. They're 15-18 right now. There's a lot of teams from the Knicks who are 18-17 down to Atlanta who are 14-20. It's a 4-game span with fucking like 8 teams.
It's weird because I hate New York sports.
Yeah, me too. But I feel bad for Knicks fans.
But I don't really mind the Knicks doing good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the only New York team that I wouldn't.
I mind them doing better than the Celtics.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I just don't want the stigma
But they're only
of the fact that even though they could do very good for the rest, they can make the playoffs.
Yeah.
But still, the stigma of they got in and the Celtics didn't. Even it's gonna happen.
I mean, the Celtics, they're only half a game behind them right now. I mean, Knicks, Charlotte Hornets, they're in a playoff spot right now. They're 16-18. I mean, 4 through 8th seed, they're all like a game and a half within each other. There are 3 teams that are 17-17 right now: Miami, Boston, Toronto. All 3 teams who were fucking fantastic last year, who are having early struggles. Having trouble staying above 500. Miami was in the finals. Boston was in the Eastern Conference Finals, and Toronto played us to 7 the round before then. I mean, but there's also teams like the Knicks and the Hornets who have been bottom of the barrel the last however many years, are trending upwards. Hornets adding LaMelo Ball. He's been playing phenomenally ever since he started.
Rookie of the year for sure, right? That's what I've been hearing.
Over 20 points a game now since he's been starting. The Knicks adding, Julius Randle having a phenomenal year. And fucking Terry Rozier on the Hornets. He's been fucking playing not 40-point games already this season, right, Isaac? Like, wish he could have stayed in Boston, to be honest, because he was a great bench guy. And right now, our bench is struggling.
We could use a bench guy.
Yeah, our bench is struggling to produce points. But, I think All-Star break is this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. So 5 days from now.
Would be nice if it was an All-Star break, but it's not.
Yeah,
a break.
we shouldn't be having an All-Star game because COVID, but money is what drives the world, so we're having one. And, Boston being at 17-17 right now is not terrible. We're the 6th seed, and we're 1 win away from moving up to the 4th seed. And with still more than half the season left to go, we're not in a terrible spot right now. I think come playoff time, we'll be better. We get Jaylen Brown back tonight. He's been injured the last few games. We play the Clippers. I'm not sure. If it's away, it's not until 10 o'clock, but I'm not sure what time. Oh, it's on right now. Okay. So
Nice.
in Boston. Cool. What's the score on that?
58-55, you said? Yeah, Pritchard, I'm just seeing a highlight of Pritchard draining a 3 from fucking...
Pritchard has been really good.
I know. He's really good. We had some news come out right as we hit the record button that we were just doesn't really make sense. It seems like pandering to the far... I don't know. Houston decided to retire James Harden's number.
They're planning to.
Planning to retire James Harden's number. Are they planning on doing this while he's playing for another team? Is this going to be happening? Are they waiting till he retires?
I'm not entirely
How
sure.
many championships has James Harden won to Houston?
0. I mean, granted, he was probably like the best.
Is
Rockets
he worth
player,
a
like,
retired
since
number
the
after he just
90s,
told me, get the
maybe
fuck
early
out of
2000s.
here? He literally just told the team, I don't want to be here anymore. I hate it here.
Well, I mean, they didn't really build a great team. Or I mean,
Everyone he asked for, they tried to get for him.
They tried to, but it
He
just never
asked for
seemed to work
Westbrook.
out.
They got Westbrook. Then he
Yeah.
wanted someone else, and they got rid of Westbrook. And then he's still like, no, I'm just actually not happy here. They've been over backwards for him, including now retiring his fucking jersey, even though he left him hanging. It made no sense. It seemed
It's wild to say that
It's an
now.
odd
Like,
move.
Houston-
why would you?
Mid-season,
Houston
yeah,
is the simp
a
of
month after
NBA
the trade.
teams. That's what they are. They're simping. They're simping for James Harden. For what? He left you. He's never coming back.
So is it just all Houston organizations are not run well in all
They're
sports?
just all dog water.
Possibly. That is
It is.
that is a great
There's
possibility.
the Texans, and they're the Texans.
Mhm.
And
And
then
the Astros, they
the
had to cheat to
Astros
win a fucking championship.
did in fact cheat to win a championship, and then yeah,
Yeah,
they're all
I mean,
kind of
Is there any other Houston
dysfunctional.
sports teams?
I don't think so. Does the NHL have a Houston team? Probably not.
I
I
don't know.
don't think so.
Who cares?
They might.
Anyway,
There's a Dallas team, so there might be a Houston.
Well, that's
team.
not Houston.
Well, I'm saying, but like
That's a
as far as
different-
residing in Texas, there might be.
We're talking about
Additional.
Houston specifically.
yeah.
Because if we're talking about Texas, like in general, there's a plethora of teams we can name. Cowboys, fucking the Spurs.
I know. I was talking about
fucking-
NHL specifically.
Oh,
Like as far as just saying the fact
Stupid
that there
ass.
could be
suck my nuts.
saying the fact that there could be one in Houston because there's one in Dallas, so it would make sense that if they have one Texas team, they're likely to have another one.
It's possible.
They're not.
They're not.
Yeah.
They're not.
Yeah.
There's probably another
That's
Texas
tough
team.
look.
Yeah, he was so confident.
That's
They're
tough.
likely. Oh, I look
Is
at
there-
Isaac's. Isaac's going
Is
like
Dallas
this.
the only Texas located NHL team?
We're
Who the fuck
spending way
knows?
too
Yeah,
long
what?
on
Who
something
cares?
we
Yeah,
already
I don't-
figured out.
Anyway, I know what you guys have been thinking your whole life. All right. When you were 5, I know exactly what you thought when you saw. Maybe not 5. I'll give you 10. When you saw Shaquille O'Neal dunking on someone, I know what you thought, and I know what you thought. And Isaac, I know what you thought. What would that man look like in a wrestling ring? Right. That was everyone's mindset when we watched Shaquille O'Neal growing up.
I'm gonna shatter your dream there and say no.
No, that's unfortunate. Well, it's something I've always thought about. He's a gigantic man.
Something that I always thought about was, what if he named himself DJ Diesel and toured the world doing EDM music?
He did do that,
That-
already.
That
That
is
was
what I
already a
dreamed
thing,
about, and that thing came true.
though. Well, another person's dream is coming true. Shaquille O'Neal is going to be wrestling this Wednesday on All Elite Wrestling. This is something that he's talked about. He's even talked about it on NBA Tonight, like that he wants to be doing this for a while. He wanted to do this 3 years ago in WWE, and then he had a mini thing with Big Show, and then it
Kinda just
Disappeared.
yeah.
And then now that the Big Show is signed with AEW as well, so we'll probably get that. But, I mean, what does Shaq not do?
I mean, the man sponsors every fucking company
His
possible. He's a fucking DJ. Fucking Hall. I don't think he's a Hall of Famer yet, but
He will be.
probably
Future
will be.
Hall of
If
Famer.
he's not yeah, he will be.
And also, I just thought about this while looking at Shaq's fucking face on my computer screen. If you haven't seen the Shaquille O'Neal parody Old Spice commercial, go watch that right now. It came out
Isn't-
probably 15 years
Yeah.
ago, and it's
It's an all-time video.
probably my
Oh,
favorite video of all time.
Yeah.
You've seen it, right?
Yeah.
Have you seen it,
It is-
Isaac?
Absolutely.
Okay, we've all seen it.
It's a top 5 video of all time for sure.
Click off of. Wait till the video's over. Click off of this video after that. Like, share, comment,
Subscribe. if you haven't
subscribe,
already.
bell, ding, then
Bell,
click
ding.
off.
Yeah. Bell ding.
Go look at Shaq's Old Spice parody commercial. It is absolutely fucking fantastic. The remix is, it's fucking crisp. I just can't believe it. But yeah, I mean,
the man is a partial owner of Papa John's.
is he really?
Is he
Yes.
actually?
Was this after or
He's
before
on
the
the-
allegations?
After.
Okay, so he's
He's
the
trying-
savior. Got it. He's
Yeah,
Okay.
He saved Papa
Wow.
John's.
Okay.
That's fucked up. Because I mean,
What?
we'll get into it after the show. We will, because it just that just seems like a puppet thing, you know? How can we get ourselves out of our owner saying the N-word so many times? Shaq. Let's get the biggest dude we know to do. I mean,
no, because he had.
I don't hate
but
the
also
move.
props to
I
him.
don't-
He's
yeah, I
making
don't hate
money.
the
He's
move.
making
Yeah.
money. You know, I get it. I don't hate it. But It's just funny that I didn't even know that. I didn't.
Yeah, remember he had the reality show that he was doing?
Oh yeah, is he still doing that?
I don't know. I watched the first few episodes and I kind of forgot about it, but like he was talking about it, how he became like a partial there, and he's like on the board for Papa John's now.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's it. Maybe okay.
Like
Hershey, Pennsylvania. There's a there is a phone book in a Hershey, Pennsylvania hotel where I've only been to Hershey once, and I remember this. We were looking at the phone book, looking at food to get, and it said Poo Poo John's, and we don't have a Papa John's near us. We don't, and it said Poo Poo John's on the thing, and my mom was like, I don't know if that's Papa John's or not. So we called it and asked. But that Shaq, if you're listening, and of course, I mean, Shaq's listening. We know that already. If you're listening, get on that. Poo Poo John's not a good idea for a phone book. But yeah, I remember seeing that.
I'm gonna tell you right now, that phone book is like probably not there anymore.
It wasn't that long ago.
Because phone books.
No, and hotels have phone books everywhere. Because you need like.
So was it like written in as?
Bro,
Poo-Poo
it was
John's?
typed in. Like someone typed it in because it was
in
they
print.
print. It was
Yeah,
printed
in
Poo Poo John's
Poo Poo John's.
in print.
That is
Great meme.
unfortunate.
I couldn't believe it, and my mom was like, "I don't know if I should order from this place." Because
Did you order there?
Yeah, we
That's
did.
the question.
Yes, we
Was it
did.
actually?
It was Papa John's. We
Okay.
called, but her fear was, what if this is like an old Papa John's that had been able to keep some of the trademarking? Like there was in Pittsburgh, there was a Burger King a couple years ago that lost its Burger King trademark, but still used all of their wrappers and shit, and it was a fake Burger King. And so that's what we were all feeling. We were all like, yo, if this is just like a fake Papa John's and we're about to get fucked. Yeah. Look it up.
That is insane.
Yeah, it's mad funny. I think it's happened with like a McDonald's somewhere.
How do you know it's fake? If you're
No, like they don't. So they lose their license contract.
yeah,
They lose their licensing contract, so they can't use the name Burger King or anything like that. They still do, but they don't get burgers sent to them, or they don't get the wrappers sent to them. So they have to print the wrappers themselves and then make burgers and claim that they're Burger King burgers. Look it up. It's fucking hilarious. But the Poo Poo John's, that's what we were fearing, is that it was a fake Papa John's. Anyway,
Jesus.
moving on. Moving on from that,
That's insane.
we have huge FCF news. Absolutely ginormous FCF news. I'm going to let you say it, because you've been talking a lot of shit about the Zappers a lot recently. And I mean...
Yeah, I mean, when you suck ass and you gotta go ahead and buy players out of your pocket and fucking, screw the rest of the league over to fucking get wins. I mean, I guess.
So the Zappers have bought Josh Gordon into the league. He's coming in this week. He's in the bubble now. They beat the Wild Aces without Josh Gordon. Let's get that out the way first, okay? Trav Daddy, with an absolute beauty of a Hail Mary catch at the final second of the game to beat the Wild Aces. Jerdy looked like absolute dog shit. All right, he looked like exactly what I said he was last week on this show, which was an internet poster boy who can't actually do anything. I'm memeing. I love Jerdy, but also
in terms of facing him,
he's not good.
Like against him, yeah, no,
He's not good.
Listen,
didn't perform very well.
listen. Maybe he's not 100%. All right. Give him another.
I don't know.
Give him another
The
week.
announcer, who was the commissioner, said that he was 100% last week, but decided to hold off an extra week. And I was like, wow, Jerdy, wow. Comes back, cost the team.
Who's this commissioner though?
Let's talk about this fucking commissioner. Actually, he's the dude that's in the booth all the time. I don't know if you guys watched the games. I'm sure you didn't, but he pissed me off. The entire booth pissed me off because a ref would make a call. There was like 3 flags thrown in the entire 2 games. And they had Richard Sherman on the special guest thing, and his team was playing the Beast. It was the Glacier Boys playing the Beast. And he was like, oh, there's a flag. He's like, of course it's going to be on us because the Glacier Boys keep getting screwed every week, blah, blah, blah. And he's saying that in the booth. And instead of, like, them defending their refs, they were like, yeah, no, you're right, that's a terrible call. And they were, like, kissing up to Richard Sherman. And it was just odd, and it kept going, where every single call, they were like, that's a terrible call. Even when it wasn't. The last play of the game, or the second to last play of the game, was a defensive pass interference in the end zone to set up the game-winning touchdown for the Beast. And it was a clear, like, the ball, he was not looking towards the ball, he was tackling the dude before the ball got there, and they were like, we just can't have these fucking refs impacting the game. And I'm like, you guys have to defend these people before they're not here, because without officials there is no football game.
You can't
Right.
have that happen in a game and not call it pass interference. Like that.
Correct.
That's what that is.
Exactly.
So
That, like,
you can't just not even.
that's why those rules are in place.
acknowledge-
I tweeted about it, and the CEO of the FCF tweeted back and was like, I think the defensive pass interference was fine. We just want to get some clarity on some of the other calls. It's a hard league with new rules.
Have the fucking refs know the rule book then.
Well, there's
Why
that.
do they not know it?
I think they do, but it's just, it's easier as a fan and as a owner of a team to blame the refs, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it happens for every single sports game ever. Whether it's soccer, hockey, there is always a moment where a fan goes, well, we would have won that if they didn't call that, or if they fucking saw that. It's going to happen. So when Richard Sherman was there complaining about it, instead of them saying, hey, Rich, like, why'd I call him Rich?
Rich. Yeah, I don't
Hey,
know.
Sherm,
Sherm.
that was actually a good call. He did his job there. That's what we're paying them to do. They said, yeah, no, screw these refs. You're right. I'm sorry. We'll and it makes them look so unprofessional because it makes it look like, I know what they're trying to do. It's trying to be, we're taking accountability, but you're not. You're just throwing your refs under the bus for you guys writing stupid rules. There was an illegal blitz. That's what it was called, an illegal blitz. And so he started blitzing, and David Pindell moved out of the way of the blitz. And the commissioner was arguing that it shouldn't have been a flag because he started moving before the blitz. Before he hiked the ball, the linebacker was coming in. So that by rule, that is an illegal blitz. You wrote a dumb rule. The refs didn't throw a dumb flag. That's a stupid rule.
Yeah, that's just
Like,
the rule that exists.
And okay, I get it for 3v3 or 7v7. You might have to have that rule because of the linemen. That's fine. So maybe it's not such a dumb rule. But, like, you wrote the rule. Don't be mad when they call it. And you can't say we don't want these refs affecting the games. Then just say there's no penalties. If you're going to complain about a defensive pass interference, just say there's no penalties in the league and the refs have nothing to do other than to spot the ball. That's fine. They took a vote this past week. I think it was finished today. If they should replace the refs with someone who has wrote the rule book, or they worded it like this, or hope the officials get better at doing their job.
I did see that. I was
Which-
like, that's...
Yeah, I
Which
saw
one
that.
are you
I was
gonna?
like-
Which one are you gonna pick? Obviously, subliminally, you look at hope they get better doing their job.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, well, no, obviously, I'd
Yeah,
rather
they're gonna
have
pick
someone
the
more
other one.
experienced.
Correct.
That is blatant. We're throwing them under the bus, knowing we're throwing them under the bus, and that's the end of that. That was
Yeah.
the one thing that pissed me off about fantasy football. Other than that, I absolutely
was a questionable move.
I
on their part,
have-
but
loved this league so far. Every game seems super close. There's no clear winner to the very end. It's absolutely, it's entertaining. It's fun to be a part of it as a fan picking plays. Absolutely love it. The only thing I would change is just fucking either help your refs out or say there's no rules.
just make it so you can actually have a replay. Like,
and I get, like, it gets
like on
frustrating.
plays that don't get called, or if it's something's questionable, just review it.
Yeah.
Just have them watch it over and then
Exactly.
decide if it
And
actually should.
They
be.
like, I know it's weird because the things that I'm complaining about are things that we complain about oppositely when we watch NFL broadcast. Oh, they're sucking up to the refs too much. Oh, of course the commentator's going to say that.
Yeah.
We say that, of course. But those are experts and those are professionals, and they're probably right. We're just angry, bitter fans. 100%. That's probably what happens.
Yeah, but because the commentators are all people. Like, if Tony Romo's saying something, I'm gonna believe
is
what he's
much-
saying.
it is
I'm
much
gonna take
better.
it to like act as being something that's actually
Correct.
a fact.
And as much as I thought it would be better the other way around, it is much better hearing somebody say, no, this ref is doing the right call because blah, 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 than it is to hear, man, these people suck, we need to get rid of them. And you're the commissioner of the league saying this. Like, you're the commissioner, and you're sitting there complaining on the booth instead of, it doesn't seem as friendly. I know a lot of fans liked it. The wording of the
Question,
poll
yeah,
was to get the refs out 100%. That shouldn't have even been a poll. You should have just said we're changing things, because that was 100% an attack on the referees for no reason. And the one other thing I would change is draft once a year. You draft once a year, and then because the draft every week thing is getting, especially when you just keep adding franchise tags.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So there's no one to draft
this,
anymore.
this upcoming draft is going to be very like.
And
And also,
Josh Gordon's just we have Josh Gordon as a franchise tag, and we're getting another one.
yeah.
We get to tag Logan Marachi. It looks like we're going to tag too. So
So you just get an extra franchise.
So we get an
tag
extra-
than other
that-
teams.
exactly, it just that's the like. I get it. They're a small league. If a former NFL player, especially one with the caliber of Josh Gordon, who is very good, like in the NFL anyway, it's a little different with Manziel because he wasn't so good.
Yeah.
Josh Gordon's great. Obviously, they're going to bring him in right away as soon as
Yeah.
possible for the exposure, but you have to have a
Also-
clarity on other sides of the teams,
and
too.
also with their plans to expand the league, because how many teams did they say they wanted to have?
20?
You can't have a draft every week with 20 teams.
Yeah, no,
Right.
you
No.
wouldn't
That
be able
will
to
take
do it.
fucking all day, every week.
Yeah, people wouldn't be able to do that.
I think it has to be once a year. I think it should be once a year. The fans draft their team, and then maybe like, oh no, I guess you can't do that because it's gonna be the XFL is coming next year too.
That's
So
true.
20 teams.
That's the tough thing is that how are you gonna find the players to make 20 teams when a lot
Unless
of
they do it after, like because this is an arena, so technically they can do this whenever they want. Like the XFL could end and they could have summer. They could do the summer.
they could do that.
The only thing really going on in the summer is like training camp and stuff, but nobody's watching that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean-
there's not.
It's going to be tough. I don't know how long the XFL season's going to go. I imagine it's going to be shorter than the NFL season, so it shouldn't be too big a deal. But yeah, I mean, just yeah. I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know if they're gonna be able to compete with the XFL. This league, as much as I love it, seems like something that's doomed. Like,
Yeah.
and I've said that from the beginning.
Just the situation that it got that it's in right now. It's just
Correct.
it's hard to.
It is. It is
compete
especially
with
because
other leagues.
granted, this might be this will be 100%. I believe this will be the first spring league that finishes in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
AAF did not finish. The
Yeah.
XFL did not finish.
Because the AAF forgot to pay their players. They forgot they had to do that.
Yeah, correct,
Like,
correct.
oh, wait, we don't have money to pay
The
you guys.
XFL got,
XFL
screwed by a pandemic.
COVID, yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
do anything about that. And the XFL was so hot before the pandemic,
was.
too. Like
It was
kicking off.
it was doing like all
Very
of the
good.
games were very good games at that point, and then it just kind of
Exactly.
disappeared.
We'll go over the games now. The Beast, of course, I already said they beat the Glacier Boys with 0 seconds left. Again, this is their second win with 0 seconds left on the clock.
They scored right at the
You
end
got to
of
be
the
getting a
last
little
two games.
nervous. You have to be getting a little nervous.
they are. Yeah, but it's a win, so it's
The-
every single. I feels like every single win has an asterisk next to it, but
yeah. Well,
I was
it's
used
all
to
the
that.
refs'
I was
fault,
used to that
nobody
with the
else's.
Steelers too, so I'm just gonna.
It's just
whatever.
you're just gonna ride
it's
the
a
wave.
win. It's a win at this point. It's
The
whatever.
Zappers beat the Wild Aces in an insane game that came down to once again the last second. Trav, I almost said his full name. Why would I do that? Trav Daddy catches game-winning touchdown on a Hail Mary. Absolutely insane. Wild Aces scored with like 3 seconds left, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? We just blew another 22-8 lead. We were up 22-8 again, and then we weren't." And I was like, "What the hell?" Very unfortunate. So upcoming matches, we have once again. We're just gonna basically restart week 1, I believe. I
Yeah,
think they said.
it's the same.
So
same
the
schedule.
draft tomorrow is your draft for the playoffs. This is the final draft. Whoever that Ladarius Galloway told us that, so I'm going to say 100% that
that's-
is a fact. Inside source. If it's wrong, blame him. Love Ladarius. The commissioner was saying during the game that Ladarius Galloway, Greg Miller called the commissioner and was like, "Hey, you need to get a new jersey for Ladarius Galloway." He's like, "Why?" He's like, "It's too big on him, and he's my franchise guy."
Yeah.
And as they were saying that, they show the field, and Ladarius Galloway's jersey is like a fucking parachute. And I tweeted it. I was like, dude, because he jukes the shit out of everybody. He's nasty. And I was like, just imagine what he could do without a parachute on his fucking back. And he was like, yeah, for real. But that was funny. But yeah, Beast Zappers play this week for the second time. Of course, the Beast are 3-0, have not lost. C.J. Edwards struggled a little bit this past game, but got the job done either way, so it doesn't really matter.
Quinn Flowers still performed well.
Correct. Quinn Flowers got hurt oddly.
Yeah.
And this is okay. This is where I thought they were going to put C.J. Edwards in. He threw a touchdown, just got like a cramp celebrating. It looked like an appendix thing where he grabbed, and I was like, that's not good. And it was out of nowhere. He was celebrating, walked down the field, and randomly slumped and grabbed. And I was like, that does not look good. So I was worried. He gets up, is holding his ribs, and does the 2-point conversion with one hand completely while holding his ribs. Just throws it on, and then scores a touchdown on the next drive, still while holding his ribs.
Yeah, so something's up.
Good job,
But-
Quentin Flowers. That was
Yeah.
absolutely insane. But I think he's good now. And then we have the Wild Aces and the Glacier Boys playing again, both 1-2. So everyone's 1-2 except for the Beast now.
Yep.
Pretty much.
That's big.
Yeah.
I don't know how the playoff format's going to go. Still have not got any hurt on that, but
But we will assume that there's the normal seeding 1 through 4. So
I hope not.
Well, I mean,
I
not
want
necessarily
Gauntlet
saying
so
it's
bad.
well, not necessarily saying that it's going to be that, but they're going to be seeded that way.
Oh,
that
yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
mean that like one's going to face 4 and two's going
Oh
to
yeah,
face
yeah.
2.
There,
I'm
yeah,
just in
seeding will
general,
work like that. Correct.
as far as that goes, so like the loser of the Wild Aces versus the Glacier Boys is a big game because I mean, I guess
if the Zappers lose,
the
it doesn't really matter.
yeah, but I
They'll
don't
have to
know
figure
how
out
they,
about points or something probably.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know what
Who knows? They
if
they
the
haven't.
Wi-
Well, if there's one thing I've learned about the
Aces
FCF this past,
lost,
yeah,
because they lost to the Zappers.
yeah, maybe that's
Then-
probably it.
Then they
Head-to-head
would be, they would
matches.
be they would be 4th.
But no, if there's one thing I learned about the FCF this past week is that they actually don't have a plan. They've changed so many
They
things
Yeah,
make
they-
rules as they go along.
week to week, and
What
I
if there's a week 5? What if they just decide to have
that's
a week
like
5?
that's
You very
I'm
well could get
okay.
that.
I'm okay with week to week rules, but I mean there was one time they did game to game where they changed the
Yeah,
rule.
they changed it. It was at the end of the Beast game.
Yeah,
Once
and then
once we like basically ran out of time because the clock just
because you
never stopped.
You have to wait for the fans to pick it,
yeah.
and then they were like, okay,
Yeah,
so
there was-
maybe in the last 30 seconds we stopped the clock.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was
Until
20,
the
there was
thing's over.
20 seconds left, and all the players are standing on the field just waiting for the play to be called. And we're like, is the time about to run
Yeah.
out before my play registers through? But
And then
they
TJ
snapped,
Edwards
they
scored.
snapped it with like 2 seconds left.
Yeah, that I mean, that's okay. I get that, but
Yeah.
some of the rule changes, I feel like it just makes them seem more amateur. And when they want to compete with the XFL next year, you're gonna not want to be amateur. But they're very open about that. They're like, the reason why we call it, instead of season 1, we call it V1, is version 1, like a video game. They have that for when you get updates, and I get that, but this is you're competing with the XFL next year.
Yeah.
You know, like this is a big deal. It's gonna be hard.
I mean, granted, they do have a short season. If they stick to this format where it's like 4 games of the regular season, then playoffs, they might be able to squeeze in like in between XFL and NFL.
Yeah, but if they want to
possibly.
do 20
Well,
teams,
they wanna do 20 teams,
XFL
that's
normally starts like the week after the Super Bowl. Like that's
Right,
normally
so
around,
XFL
like when this started, it would be normally when XFL
right.
starts.
So XFL, there would probably be some kind of space between the end of the XFL season and the start of the new NFL.
well, also,
Yeah.
let's think about
but
this
if they do
too.
want to expand, yeah, that'd be an issue.
Expanding would be an issue just because you'd have to have more. You can't just play your games on Saturday.
Right.
If you had 20 teams, you can't have all those games on Saturday.
Right.
Just get. How many games would that be? 10. You might be able to, but you can't do it on Twitch.
Right.
You wouldn't be able to do. You would have to put them on the same time like the NFL does, and the XFL is probably going to own. What did they have Saturday and Sunday games when they did it?
yeah,
See,
there's
yeah, that's
two,
what
two on
they're
each
gonna get
day.
fucked. They're gonna get fucked. There's
Yeah,
no-
they're not gonna have any like I don't like
if you
who-
make your
if-
draft
yeah.
Monday, games
Yeah.
Friday, maybe, but you can't expand 20 teams. There's no way you can't do that unless you have your drafts Monday, Thursday, Friday, or the game. It'll be tough. You wouldn't be able to do it on Twitch. You're going to need a TV deal, but they want to go for Twitch because that's the gaming aspect of it. But yeah, that's the FCF, and that is the 50th episode of the JNL Sports Show. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, thank you very much. Check back here next week for it. And if you're not watching on YouTube, Noah,
Nachos next week, Friday.
Friday,
Because
correct?
we
This
also
week.
Friday.
have Friday episodes.
There's always Fridays
do.
episodes.
Yes.
Josh forgets
Forgot
almost
about that.
every week.
Yeah,
Almost
if you're
every
a new, if you're a new listener or watcher, I guess now, Josh is forgetful.
Very
He forgets the days we record when he's trying to repeat them for you guys. So
often.
just beware of that.
It's possible in a minute I'm going to say see you on Tuesday
Yeah.
next
He's
week. Like, it's
also-
very possible.
You
Or
thought
Thursday.
it was
You've said
Thursday.
Thursday.
many
plenty of
times. Yeah, many times you
Oh,
said
yeah,
Thursday
yeah,
instead of Friday.
Yeah, correct. I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck you want from me. This is life, all right? This is what happens. But yeah, for you guys not watching and listening, one, be much easier for you guys to watch, right? I'm sure it's a lot more fun, but I know if you guys are riding in a car like my brother does or whatever when you guys drive constantly. Noah, tell them where else they can check
You
us
can
out.
find us at the jnlsportshow.com. You can find all of our links to our social media, our Instagram, Twitter. We have a Facebook group that we haven't really used in a while, but maybe we'll get to it, maybe we won't.
It
And
exists.
Obviously, if you're watching this on YouTube, you know that we have a YouTube, so you can like, subscribe, ring that bell so you can get all the notifications when new episodes are out or new clips. We also clip our stuff so you don't have
Correct.
to listen to the entire.
We know not everyone wants to sit here and listen to us talk about everything for an hour, right?
Yeah.
So we get clips for things that you guys are interested about, and you can just watch 5 minutes of it. And then also, that's a good way to find out if you like a podcast, right? You look
Very
at
true.
clips first, and then you check out the full thing.
Very true. And also on our website, scroll down, you find all the other platforms besides YouTube where you can just listen to. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, you got, Google Podcasts, Pandora, apparently.
Yeah, I
And
think it exists.
if
Pretty
you're
sure
new
it still
here-
exists.
If you're new here, check out Deezer. That's our meme here. We shout out Deezer because at first we had no clue what the fuck it was.
2 of 4. Shout out Deezer.
Josh was on the Deezer train for
Yeah,
a while.
Josh
and then a
dropped
couple
out for some
episodes,
reason.
He just fucking changed. I don't know what's wrong with him, but he just
grew
completely
up.
bailed on the whole Deezer thing. You grew. I don't know about that. but you grew. Me and Luke we're still,
Sims. That's the end of the
Yeah.
show, guys. Join us here on Friday on YouTube or whatever the dumb podcast network that he just said. And that's it. Luke, you got anything to say?
calling networks
Not
dumb
really.
or not how you get sponsored, Josh.
Yeah.
Have a good one.